morning, and thank you for being here, fellow naturalists. I feel as though I should start with a story, so let's just get right in. I remember that one day I was out on a trip with my botany teacher at Cambridge named John Henslow. So we were out with poles so we could vault over muddy ditches if we needed to go over one to grab a flower that we needed, and there, across the ditch, it was a perfect specimen. I had to have it. And so I took my pole, stuck it in the mud, and tried to flip over. Except it got stuck in the upright position. So I had to slide down into the mud and grab the flower, but I did get it, and a little bit of embarrassment while I was at it. I was born on February 12, 1819, in the mountains at Shrewsbury. My father sent me to Shrewsbury Preparatory School, and I never really did like school. That didn't exactly work out as planned, so he sent me to Edinburgh to study to become a doctor. I hated it there. Screams of the victims of amputations and just all the blood and gore. Thankfully, I was able to return home occasionally with my brother Erasmus, and we would do rather violent experiments in the garden shed. It was in one of these experiments where we made nitrous oxide, or as you might call, laughing gas. After that ordeal, my father sent me to Cambridge to study to become a clergyman. It was there that the aforementioned John Henslow told me of a voyage. He said, "Darwin, there's going to be a voyage on a ship called the Beagle. They're going to circumnavigate the world and study along with map the coast, possibly. They were looking for a naturalist who would be nice to be around, and I was thinking, would you like to go?" And I said, yes, definitely. But my father did have a few objections. But for every objection, my Uncle Josiah, as I lovingly called Uncle Jos, would say that he would have an answer to it. For example, my father would say, "But what about the diseases? He could die of it." And my uncle would say, "He'll be fine. He is a Darwinist, not." So without further ado, I packed my bags and joined the Beagle. We sailed down to the South American coast, and I went on occasional respites inland. It was on one of these trips when I met with a band of gauchos. I was trying to be suave like them and swing my bolo above my head and catch a cow with it, but instead, it came around and grabbed my legs and I fell off my horse. After that, unfortunately, we had to leave to the Galapagos Islands, and the first thing I noticed there was a finch fluttering past. And then there was another one, almost exactly the same, except for the shape and size of its beak and the way its talons were designed. They looked like they were for different purposes entirely. Before I could study that further, I went to the house of the governor of the Galapagos Islands, and we had dinner with him. During that dinner, he told me that he could tell what island a turtle was from just by the shape and markings of its shell. That intrigued me. How could essentially one species of animal be so similar when it was be so different when it was only separated by a small strip of water? I had to leave before I could inquire any further, and we returned home. I married the beautiful Elizabeth Wedgwood, and we had 2 children, William and Anne. I decided not to publish my findings for 20 years. In that time, I studied oysters, barnacles, this is similar, and coral reefs and orchids. The only reason I really truly did publish my findings was the fact that another naturalist who went by the name of Alfred Russel Wallace, who lived down in Indonesia, sent me a paper that he had written, and if I do say so myself, it was nearly a perfect abstract of what I had originally written. My good friend Thomas Huxley decided to publish it in a joint paper, giving me the due respect that I had earned for studying it for 20 years. I finally published it in the book On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, for which you all must know me. I wish to return to my studies so I can write more books and possibly even become a great man in science. But before I return to my study, do any of you have any questions?